Good afternoon, everyone, and warm welcome to one and all speakers and participants for today's session of webinar on AEO scheme. The webinar is being organized by DGTS Delhi and Kolkata Zonal Unit in association with AEPC. I am Vinesh Chaudhary, Additional Director, DGTS, and I'll be the moderator for today's session. As we all know, that the AEO scheme is a partnership program between Customs Authority and the economic operators. It is an internationally recognized program under the aegis of WCO Safe Framework of Standards to strengthen end-to-end security of supply chains and to multiply benefits for traders. It is a voluntary program which is incrementally gaining popularity among the business entities. AEPC and especially Singhal Saab, he had requested DGTS for arranging an interactive session for their members with the department for ironing out some issues which were being faced by their members. So therefore, we have organized this session. And DGTS CBSE has been regularly organizing webinars to inform and educate taxpayers about various compliance requirements. We have been organizing webinars on changes in laws and procedures, and on various facilitation initiatives which the CBIC introduces from time to time. The webinars have also served as a platform for getting feedbacks and suggestions from the taxpayers. And during the later course of the webinar, we'll be also posting a feedback form in the chat box, and I would request all the participants to fill it up with their feedback. And we'll also circulate later also. If somebody misses out, we'll circulate it later through AEPC. And I must also inform the participants that the webinars which are being organized by DGTS are for taxpayers' awareness and educational purpose only. The participants may refer to the legal text for their understanding and for their legal implications. Now I'll start with introductions. As I said, Gupta Saab is not here. He was supposed to give the inaugural address. We have with us Mr. Naren Goenka. He is Chairman AEPC. He is the founder and managing director of one of the largest apparel manufacturer exporter industry in India. He was elected to the executive committee of AEPC in the year 2001. Since then, he has been positively contributing to the smooth functioning of AEPC and thus helping increase India's exports and market share in global clothing trade. Welcome, Mr. Goenka.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chaudhary. Thank you, Mr. Chaudhary. I extend very warm welcome to all the senior officials of DGTS for bringing this very important webinar with us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And we have Mohammad Salih Parvez, Additional Commissioner in Directorate of International Customs. He is an IRS officer of 2009 batch. He started his career in Raipur Commissionerate of Central Excise and Service Tax. He has worked in DGGI Bhopal. He was on deputation for 3 years in Ministry of Commerce as specified officer in the Noida SEZ. We have Dr. LB Singhal, Secretary General AEPC. He joined AEPC in October 2020 after superannuating from civil services. He's from the 1986 batch. He has worked as Zonal Development Commissioner, Noida SEZ, and other SEZs in northern and eastern part of India. He was actively involved in making foreign trade policy, SEZ policy, and SEZ Act of India. Mr. Upendra Gupta, Principal ADG, Delhi Zonal Unit, he was also supposed to be there today. He generally is available with us. Under his leadership only we do the webinars. And he had to also rush because of the constant work which is being done in the CBIC. So he had to go there for a meeting. Now I would request Mr. Naren Goenka, Chairman AEPC, to deliver the introductory address. Mr. Goenka.
Thank you. Thank you once again. I welcome all my colleagues and the officials. Authorized Economic Operators Certification Program is a very, very important initiative of Government of India, which enables Indian customs to enhance and streamline cargo security through close cooperation with principal stakeholders of the international supply chain, with importers, exporters, logistic provider, custodians of terminals, operator, custom brokers, warehouse operators. AEO certification demonstrate the role of exporters within the international supply chain is secure and the custom control and procedures are efficient and compliant. As we are all have battled with COVID-19 pandemic and economic downturn, textile and apparel manufacturers are trying to increase their export. Favorably, policies announced by government have helped Indian textile and apparel industry to some extent, but more is required for export promotion push and to overcome pandemic-infused constraint. India affected exports of US $419 billion, which exceeded the target of USD 400 billion set for year 2021-22. The exports from the apparel sector were to the tune of USD 16 billion. This was the result of concerted and collective efforts by every sector, every stakeholder in the nation. This is the key milestone in our Atmanirbhar Bharat journey. It was a clarion call given by Honorable Prime Minister that inspired the journey to make quantum jump in exports. We need to take this further forward in increasing our export and in turn increasing investments and employment. The way forward is to adopt better systems and practices that can lead to long-term growth and competitiveness of our sector. In this context, today's AU program is very relevant as this program not only aims to align India's export with World Custom Organization safe framework for standards to enhance international supply chain security through validated and robust system. It also helps in faster movement of goods and reduced procedural barrier. I look forward to hearing more about the scheme and its benefit today. I am sure that deliberation and presentation of AU scheme shall certainly be very useful for the participants and more exports will take benefit of AU scheme after today's webinar. We have taken feedback from apparel exporters for this AU webinar. Some of the exporters have pointed out that benefit envisaged in AU scheme are not being fully implemented in the field. I request DGTS and Directorate of International Customs handling the AU program that the issues which will be discussed in the webinar today should be solved for effective implementation of AU scheme. Thanks you all once again.
Thank you, Mr. Goenka. And I think we can straight away now request Salik for to come up with the presentation so that there is no gap and the people can straight away take benefit of whatever is going to speak now. Salik, it's all yours now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Naren Goenka, Chairman APC, for your opening remarks. And as you have rightly mentioned with your experience in the industry, both as a manufacturer and in the governing body, that the importance of this industry in countries' development, both in terms of domestic development as well as in the exports. And as I was told that this program is being organized by DGTS with the collaboration of AEPC. It was a moment of double joy for me because on the other side, my former boss and my mentor is the Secretary General of AEPC, Mr. Dr. L.B. Singhal. Sir, it's great to have you here. And And as I was flipping through the stats on the net about the contribution of this sector in India's export and the top destination of India's apparel market. So two countries which came up prominently was US and EU and UAE. And so we have something interesting going on with these countries. So I think that I will deliberate upon later. So with these words, I think I'll start with my presentation that we have made. Uh, so share the screen. I'm sharing the screen, sir.
Okay.
So I hope it is visible, my screen.
Yes.
Alex, it is. Yes, please.
You can switch it on to slideshow mode.
Okay, sir. This is slideshow mode. Yeah.
Yes, now.
So this is the basic that we, as Mr. Vinish Chaudhary sir was also talking about, that the AEO program is basically based on the WCO safe framework of standards. So this will be our scheme of the presentation, where we will give the basic overview of the WCO safe framework. Then we'll come to the India's AEO program, what are the eligibilities, overview, what the benefits we give it to different tiers. And then at the end, we will come to our mutual recognition agreement with different countries on AEO, specific on AEO, that we are deliberating, some of which we have already signed, some of which are in the process. I'd like to give you update on this, because I think this is the area which will benefit the exporters in the apparel sector the most. So, and then I'll also delve upon the issue of how we are trying to implement the whole process online. We have come up with the website, and even the renewal process or the application process, we are trying to shift to the web portal of ours, which is partially active right now, but we hope to go totally on that portal by the coming in 2-3 months. This is our target, to move completely on that portal. So I'll also update you on that. So, this is the safe framework of standard. The genesis of this safe framework of standard goes back to something political which happened in the post 9/11 in US, when they came up with the assessment of their supply chain, that how vulnerable their supply chain is. So they came up with a concept that we need to have all our suppliers, there should be a mechanism to verify their origination, their control mechanism. This is how then they brought this issue on the platform of World Customs Organization, which is WCO based in Brussels, and where every contracting party or members agreed to this framework. So this is one of the framework of WCO which has been widely accepted. In fact, almost all countries have agreed to accept the safe framework. So now the core element of this safe framework was that you have to, how do you ensure your supply chain security? So what they said that, okay, between two countries, our information should flow in advance. That they call it the electronic cargo information system. Then they said that we have to come up with the consistent risk management approach, and all outbound inspection of high risk cargo, depending upon your risk management analysis, we have to do the inspection on the basis of that. So this was what they, and for this they said that we should promote close cooperation with other governmental agencies, which they call it OGAs. So this was the overall objective of the framework, the WCO safe framework of standard, that first you establish certain standard, then you disseminate this knowledge, then you have the cooperation between customs to customs, then you should have a cooperation between customs to business, and then to customs to OGAs. So this is what I was taking, the 3 pillars of safe framework: customs to customs, customs to business, and customs to OGAs. 6 aims of safe framework is as evident on the PPT is Partnership, Security, Authorization, Technology, Communication, and Facilitation. So now this AEO program comes into customs to business, that we will trust you with certain parameters. You let us examine you on these parameters, and then I'll be trusting you in your import and export business. Now, this was the I was giving you the academic background of how this SAFE framework came into being and from where the AEO program, the national AEO program, emanates. Now we come to our own India's AEO program. So this program is a voluntary trade facilitation program. Please understand, when we say it is a trade facilitation program, it is also part of India's commitment under TFA. The WTO TFA framework, it is one of the National Committee on Trade Facilitation has one of the agenda is AEO program, implementation of AEO program in India, which we have fortunately completed in terms of rules and everything. So our India's AEO program is 3-tier, basically tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. And we added one more tier, which is called ALO, this is called logistic operators. These tiers are depending upon the security checks that you have to adhere to and reciprocal benefits that the customs will be able to provide you. So obviously the tier 1, as the name suggests, is the basic facilitation mechanism that we provide. And as we go up, the compliance parameter also goes up, and accordingly the benefits also goes up. The third tier is LO tier, which is called for the supply chain participants like warehouse operators, CHAs, terminal operators. So they are been put in a different category. It is also pertinent here to mention that this categorization is a domestic categorization. Different countries follow different parameters for coming out of these classification. For example, US does not have a separate LO classification. UAE has only 2 classifications. So as I was mentioning that AEO and MRA is a part of National Trade Facilitation Action Plan, which is monitored by at the level of CAPSEC. So this is, if you see this slide, you will understand what is the basic philosophy behind this, that we have to implement it in the sense that you give the application, we process it, we approve it, we assist field formation in resolving issues. You also need to appreciate that this involves all verticals, almost all verticals of CBIC to be involved in. Somewhere we have to talk to risk management division, somewhere we have to for risk management thing, for deferred payment duty, which we will discuss later on, we have to involve DG systems, which is the systems vertical of CBIC. Then we have single window for bringing all the other coordination with other government agencies. So, and what we do is that we also provide policy inputs to CBIC on AEO matters. Then we have the capacity building where we train officers both within domestic territory as well as in the different small island nations. This is also one of our mandate which we usually do here. So now we come to the most important part, which I think matters most for our exporters, is that what is the eligibility, what are the compliance requirement, what are the security requirement. So the first eligibility is that it should be a legal entity established in India, should be involved in a custom business, whether it is import, export, and should have been in a business for 3 financial years. Although later on we came up with a separate circular which for MSMEs, where we relaxed parameters for MSME, and my understanding is, please correct me if I'm wrong, we have a lot of MSMEs in this apparel business. So for that purpose also, it is a good thing that in the line of Government of India's initiative of doing ease of doing business, we reduced compliance for MSMEs. That I will be discussing in the later slide also. So for MSMEs, for us now, as it stands, you need to be in business only for 2 financial years. Then you should have dealt with 25 custom documents during last financial year. For MSME, we decreased it to 10. The custom documents, we mean bill of entry, shipping bill. If you have 25 shipping bill or bill of entry or a combination of both, you have the eligibility, you have met the eligibility. Then we have the compliance requirement, which we call the legal compliance, commercial record management compliance, and financial solvency compliance. Then we have the security compliance, premise security, cargo security, conveyance security. You need to why I am bringing this security requirement more clearly here, because when we go into the agreement with different countries, they basically focus on this part. Why? Because the origin of this whole safe framework is security. Gradually, it transformed itself or reinvented itself into the trade facilitation mechanism, but their primary focus, especially the first world countries, especially US, Australia, they have a huge emphasis on the security premise, security requirements, whether your premise is secure, whether you have proper CCTV cameras installed, whether your trucks movement are properly managed, where your inventory is properly managed, where your staffs are being properly scanned, regularly, periodically scanned. Do you have any internal mechanism if some of your personnel goes haywire? What do you do for this? What is your internal audit mechanism? What do you have the threat perception? So all these things is the security requirement. So how do we go for certification? For AEO tier 1, because I have to check all these things. Once you come to us, either you come to the headquarters of DIC, or you go to zonal offices of Customs Commissionerate. Like we have zones, like let's say in Bombay, we have 3 custom zones. So you can approach any of them. In Delhi, we have 2 custom zones. You can approach any of them. So whole country custom zone, you can go anywhere, wherever you are located, depending upon your how much it suits you, suitability accordingly. You can approach any of those zones for applying for the AEO certification. So first tier of certification is that it is only a desk-based review. You submit as the document. Earlier, it used to be a hard document that we used to take the hard copies. Now this is a soft copy. We have started doing it. Now we are moving towards the web portal, as I was mentioning before. So it is basically a desk-based review. You give us the document, we check it, we check your eligibility, we check your legal compliance, we check your financial eligibility, we do it. So there is no premise verification, nothing for tier 1. The moment you go for tier 2, then we have a compliance and security requirement. The third requirement comes into the picture, that the team will go for the on-site validation along with the desk-based review. With the third, tier 3, which is the highest level of facilitation that we provide, you need to be first tier 2 for 2 consecutive years without any bad track record. That means you should have not any cases of fraud, forgery against you in this 2-year period. And all your business partners should also be AEO certified entities. For example, if Maruti is coming to me, I'm just taking a name for the sake of illustration. If Maruti is coming to us for AEO T3, so obviously he is tier 2 already. So I need to see how much their partners, their suppliers, their vendors, their terminal operators with whom they are doing the custom clearances, their warehouse operators, how much they are into the AEO certified. Are they AEO certified entities or not? Because the purpose is to create a whole chain of certified entities so that we have a whole secure chain of supply chain management. So this was the rationale behind giving highest facilitation to AEO tier 3, with keeping in mind this whole concept of a 360-degree compliant architecture. Then we have the AEO LO, which is, as I mentioned, it is for the anybody who's involved in the custom business, for example, custom house agents, logistic operators, terminal operators, all those people. So in this also we have the on-site validation along with the desk-based review. So it is the basic thing. I'll be explaining again. So this is what is. So when we decided to come up with the AEO scheme, we already had 2 schemes which which we used to call, first we had the ACP, Accredited Client Program, in CBIC giving some facilitation. Then we came up with AEO scheme. Then in 2016, we decided that you merge this scheme, and then we came out with a circular, which we called our Master Circular of 33/2016, which actually defines everything in the circular. Everything that we did later on, we modified this circular. Sometime for MSMEs, we came up later on, only modifying these master circular. That's why we call it a master circular, because everything that with all benefits, application process, eligibility condition, all compliances, review process, post certification, suspension, everything is in this circular. So I would also request our valued partners in AEPC, all trade partners, to go through this circular. I'm sure most of them must have gone through it, and because the type of questions that I have seen, it seems that they have read it well. And so, but for the say at the cost of being repetitive, I'm saying that we must go through this circular to understand the whole mechanism later on. So now I'm coming to the legal compliance, because see, with my experience of 2 years in dealing with certification process, is that the most of the hiccups or the roadblock for companies comes on two parameters. One is the legal compliance, and one is the financial solvency issue. So this, as per, now I'm detailing on the legal compliance part, is the when our master circular says that there should be no show cause notice issued during the last 3 financial year, with a rider is that it should involving fraud, forgery, outright smuggling, clandestine removal, or service tax cases where service tax has been paid, collected, but not deposited. So obviously service tax is, because that time we had a service tax concept, now we have a GST, so you can read accordingly. So now we have, and then we have that there should no case where there is a prosecution has been launched or it is contemplated. Then there is a ratio of disputed duty demanded or drawback. The ratio should not be more than 10%. So why I want to dwell upon this is we get cases where show cause has been issued and the unit's contention remains that it is not a fraud forgery. First. Second, they say that it is only a show cause. This is merely a charge. It has not been adjudicated as of now. So what if I'm adjudicated later on and there's no penalty against us, there is no duty demand against us. So at this point, I want to make it clear that we do not debar you from AEO program merely on account of any show cause. We debar this clause only comes into the picture when there is a specific instances of fraud and forgery. So every show cause is not so moto treated as your non-eligibility for this program. There has been instances where the show cause, we have taken decision after going through show cause and we have allowed despite some reservation from other quarters. So the reason why I'm bringing this issue is that we have a very open mind on this aspect. So don't get discouraged just because you had a show cause. If I am sure most of you have a legal team which must be telling you whether it is a fraud, forgery or not. And if you believe that it is not a case, please come forward. We will examine it. And if we find that it is not involves all these parameters, we give it. So I'm basically selling my program right now. So so this is what is the legal compliance part. So these are the benefits associated with T1, T2, T3 program. I have made it in a tabulated format. It is available in the Master Circular 33/2016. That facilitation levels accordingly. You see the bank guarantee levels changes as per the your level of facilitation increases as per tiers. This thing OSPCA also goes on like this. Like one of the important two things I want to highlight here is that deferred duty payment. which is not available for tier 1. It is available for tier 2 and tier 3. It is a very important benefits for large scale companies, the companies in the auto sector, the companies in the petroleum sector. They have they rely heavily on this deferred duty payment. Like they don't have to pay on each transaction. They pay for 15 in the after 15 days. They pay duty once for the whole time period. So eventually they pay every 15 days duty. And the second is that MRA benefits. It is also available only for tier 2 and tier 3. What is MRA benefits? I'll be discussing later on. I'm sure there will be some questions, and then we have a bank guarantee thing, which varies depending upon this thing. I'm sure that there are some questions which Vinesh sir had sent me, that people were saying that some benefits were not extended to them. Importantly, DPD, DPE benefits. And we are aware of this, and we are in the process of revamping the whole AEO circular. And so all these things, when we got to know that we were doing a in-house consultation, that if some benefits are not being given, what is the roadmap that we provided. So rest assured, the benefits which are mentioned and not being given will be given very soon. We are already working on this. There's already working group working on this issue. So the same thing I have put in this form, that what are the benefits extended to logistics service, the waiver of bank guarantee on transshipment, facility of running bond, exemption from the permission to case basis in the case of transit of goods. These are the benefits for the LOs, different LOs, what benefits LOs get. I think this will not be very interesting for you as of now. And now so one area is which I was mentioning you about the MRA. Basically, MRA is which we call mutual recognition agreement on AEO matters, which we do. Basically, it is a mechanism. To put it very simply, I have certified my AEOs because I have verified them. So I will give them benefit. I will give them benefit in terms of their when they export or import their cargo in my port, they will be facilitated. It means their assessment will be faster and their examination will be lesser, much lesser than non-AEO clients. But I'm giving this only on my port because they are my AEO clients in India. So now this idea came, this is also part of the SAFE framework, is that let's say US is also doing for their client, which they call CTPAT client. Once I have an agreement, there's an agreement between India and US, which I'm very happy to announce that after 4-5 years of negotiation, we have already signed India-US agreement. Sir, have I lost the screen? Can you see my screen right now?
Yes,
No,
your
no.
presentation is not there.
It is lost.
Yes, yes. I think let me try again, sir. I think somehow it. Internet. Sorry, I think my internet has an issue. It dropped down at.
It's coming now.
Yeah. So I was telling you that I'm happy to say that after 4-5 years of negotiation, we have already signed an MRA with US. So once I have an MRA with US, so my AEO clients will get the same level of facilitation at the US port. Their containers will not be examined like that. There will be only lesser and lesser examination and lesser transshipment problems there. And similarly, we will extend the same benefit to their CTPAT clients at Indian ports. So I think I have been able to tell what MRA benefits are. And so we have already signed with US, and we have already mentioned that MRA we have signed with South Korea, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and US. And we have already signed JAP, which is a joint action plan, which is a precursor to MRA signature with the Uganda, UAE, Australia, South Africa, and East African communities. And I'm also delighted to tell you that we are almost only signing is left for UAE. All procedure has been done. Joint site validation has been completed. So any day we'll be signing with UAE. Australia also we are planning to sign in the coming months. And there is a lot of request coming from all these countries. You'll be surprised to know that request for MRA signing is not going from our side now. Now the countries like Russia, Canada, Singapore, they are coming and showing their interest that we want to sign MRA on AEO matters with you. So I think it's a great opportunity for us to tap this moment for our exporters, and I'm sure it will benefit greatly to our exporters, those who are exporting to these countries. Yeah. So as I was mentioning you that we came out with the special measures for MSME in 2020. We came out with a separate circular for MSMEs where we relaxed our parameters for MSMEs, like documents handling we reduced from 25 to 10, business activity requirement we reduced from 3 to 2, and legal and financial compliance also we reduced from 3 to 2 years. This were the major thing that we did, and with bank guarantee also we reduced the percentage. So I'm coming to now to the AEO online filing of T2 T3 application. As I was mentioning that as the endeavor of the government of India to move on the web portal, we are planning, and we have already done that. We have our own AEO India web portal where filing of applications have already started. We encourage the new members, the members of APC who would like to go for AEO certification, that they should directly go for filing for the online method. So this is the whole mechanism how we do it. Now we also come, because those who we have already certified in T1, so we have come up with, because after 3 years they will be going for the auto renewal process. So we said that instead of you coming to us, why don't you go to the website and upload your document? The department will review it automatically and you will be given certification automatically. You don't need to come to us for this. You just upload the document, department will review it. If your review process is fine, we will do it. If your review you don't pass the review process, we will let you know what the problems are. So as of now, these are the timelines of when this entity was certified, what was the last date of self-declaration, and what is the date of the review by the zone officers. So this is is all from my side, and yeah, that's it. And if there is any question, I'm sure there'll be some questions. I'll be happy to answer if I have them. If I don't have, I'll get back to you. Thank you.
Sir,
Thank you.
in between here, I would like to mention one very important aspect of this AU also, as we are T3 certified. There is a lot of financial benefit also. Financial institutions are extending some benefits to the AU operators also, which
Yes,
was
yes.
as the this presentation was official from DGTS, they couldn't mention this, but as a direct beneficiary, I could say that there is a lot of financial institutions are extending benefits, like starting with our credit insurance, ECGC. Has a direct benefit in the premium discounts in the premium charge from T2 to T3. T2 also there is a 5%, if I'm not mistaken, 5% benefit, or T2, T3, I believe it's a good 15 or 20% discount is given. And similarly, in some finance institution, your credit rating goes up
Yes.
with this tier, and resulting in the interest rates and other advantages. So I wanted to tell all my colleagues here that there are few other financial advantages also. So everyone must go for it. And as sir said about the CityPat, if the CityPat, once it is recognized in CityPat also, it could be a great help for the no investigations in the container, no inspections and all those things would really speed up the clearance for our clients in US. So that would be an added advantage. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Goenka. It's always good to have the trade perspective. And Dr. Singhal is aware that how much we have valued in the past the trade perspective in our day-to-day operations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. First of all, thank you, Salik. It was wonderful. In fact, you have explained all the provisions so well. In fact, had I been a exporter, I would have surely gone ahead and taken the benefit. And Mr. Goenka, definitely coming from you that especially you've been such a big industrialist and an exporter, and when you say that there are very good benefits, I'm sure all the participants would also definitely come in and take benefit of this program. And now it's time for us to start question answer session. And for a moment, I also see Mr. Animesh Saxena somewhere here. Yeah, he's here. He's there. I think we had a webinar along with him, and he's from FISME, if I'm saying it. So the MSME issues, if there are any, I would request Mr. Saxena to also come ahead and speak about those if he has anything. And now AEPC had collected a lot of few questions from the members, and we will start with them first. I would request Mr. Dr. Singhal to go ahead with that, and so that he's there.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vinishji. And thanks so much, Salik. It was really a pleasure. And let me inform all our colleagues that Salik is really a wonderful and excellent officer. When he was working as a Deputy Commissioner of Customs, when I was Development Commissioner, and subsequently when he was working as a Joint Commissioner, he put a lot of systems in place in Noida SEZ for facilitating import and export. And for today's webinar, he had specifically assured that any APC members who makes an application, and in case he finds any problem in getting the AEO certification, please communicate the details to him. He would personally look into it to ensure that all these issues are handled. So thank you so much, Salik, for that assurance. Now we will take up the questions. We have received questions from Shahi Exports. Mr. Prakash Babu, are you there? You please take up the questions. Mr. Prakash Babu.
And Debojit, as and when you see them, you just we need to unmute them.
Just coming on my screen.
Something is coming, new version of.
Yes, there's something coming on the screen.
It's coming from their side. New version of malware bytes is ready to be installed. Install now. I think this needs to be.
So I think this is coming from one person called Bala's application. So if there is Mr. Bala and who has shared his screen, you need to unshare it. Mr. Bala. Mr. Bala, you are there. I can see you. Debojit, can you unshare the screen? Debojit, can you unshare the screen? Can you hear me, Debojit? Singhal Saab will go ahead with that. I'll take care of this.
Okay, Mr. Prakash Babu, please.
He's not there, so you can go ahead with the question.
Well, he's from Shahi Export and he has given a number of questions. First question is self-certified copies of FTA/PTA origin related to any other certificates required by clearance would be accepted. As per the regulations, it is provided that self-certified copies would be accepted, but in reality, clearance is allowed only with original FTA certificates.
Sir, I have gone through all his questions, and first, this question is basically not dealing with us, sir, because rule of origin FTA certificates, we don't deal with it. And in fact, we had post Carotar, we had issued a public notice also that all statutory regulations of the government, any government of India arm has to be complied. And I would suggest, sir, most of his questions are of actually they are at the port level issues of the clearances. If you need, I can send the
Yeah.
detailed answers also on this part. If
But I would suggest, because this would be relevant for other members as well, if you could respond to these questions straight away.
Sir, what they are asking is that 24 clearances on request is not happening. At some port it is happening, at some port it is not happening. So these are the specific questions of the port, sir. So if he can tell me that which port he has an issue, I can speak to that port and rectify the issue. That's the whole idea, sir. He's saying that client relation manager, which is supposed to be in every zone, he is not available and he has to run pillar from post. So sir, basically at the DIC level, we look after the policy issues, sir. So all these are the specific issues, but first I would request anybody who's the member available, if they can raise the issue which they have in the question, so I can answer to them. If any member has a question who wants to ask.
Yes, Mr. HKL Maggu, our past chairman. Maggu sir, please. Please unmute yourself. Maggu sir, please unmute. Maggu sir, please unmute.
Is he there?
Yeah,
Can you see him?
Maggu sir is there. He's here.
Is it that RK?
No, he's indicating HKL Maggu.
HKL Maggu? I don't see any. HKL.
He's there on the screen.
Somebody is trying to help him. I think it will be
Yeah,
done.
but I'm not able to unmute.
Yes, he's clear now. Yeah, please.
Well, sir, first of all, I'm really delighted to attend this webinar, which was long overdue. And let me inform you, sir, my company is one of the first company in the apparel sector which got the AEO status. I must compliment CBIC that they have given this AEO program, and the industry is very much happy with that. So I've got two issues. First of all, Mr. Salik has really given a clear picture of what the benefits are. So as far as 24/7 is concerned, even at the JNP port, which is one of the major ports of the country, this 24/7 is only on the papers. It is not happening. So what Mr. Singhal has mentioned about the Shahi export, they are very right in saying that the 24/7 is not allowed there. And I don't blame the authorities. I blame the, I would say that the custom officers, they are around 70 kilometers away from the city. And they say, well, we have to rush back to homes. So after 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock, nothing's been happening. So kindly assist us if you say so that the AEO benefits are there. But
You're talking about which port?
It's not been. JNPT, sir, JNPT. Secondly, sir, yeah.
Yeah, please carry on. First you finish.
Secondly, sir, the AEO holders, it's an old company. My company is 50 years old company. And some or the other, one time I got alert by the risky management exporters. Believe me or not, I have to run from pillar to post, in spite of the fact that I am an AEO status holder. To get this, I got the help from the past chairman, Dr. Shaktivel. Mr. Singhal also helped me, and FIO also helped me to get out of it. Now, after getting out of it also, when the DGRM cleared that, JNPT cleared it, Delhi airport cleared it, but the purple gun didn't clear it. So I had to rush, go back to them, and finally I got it done after 5 months. So my 6 crore rupees is been pending. Who's going to suffer? Me only. In spite of the fact that I'm an AEO status holder, but still my money is still not coming. Thirdly, sir, the ISKIT authorities, which I have told Mr. Singhal also, that my 662 shipping bills are pending. Koi mai baap nahi hai uska. I mean, somebody has to help me out. When you know that I'm an AEO holder, but in the ISKIT also, it should be mentioned that if I'm an AEO status holder, I must have given a privilege and preference. But my 2.5 crore rupees is still lying because my shipping bills are not appearing on the portal. So I've been running from pillar
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Excuse me. Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Maggu. You need to keep your questions a bit brief because we've got so many people who are waiting to ask questions. So just have.
I've got three questions.
We got your three points. So it is basically, these are not questions, these are issues which you have raised, and
Sure.
definitely we have taken note of these, and will inform the concerned officers for their necessary
Thank you.
action. We'll do
Really
that.
appreciate, Manish. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next question is from Chaudhary Garments, Mumbai, Mr. K. Rajendran. Mr. K. Rajendran. His question is that we are AEO TA1 certificate holders since last 5 years. We hold status holder certificate of the 2-star export house. From December 21 onwards, our factory stuffed export containers under advanced authorization scheme in particular are consecutively selected for open examination at Nava Seva Customs. Till now, about 47% of our containers are selected for open examinations. So his request is that in spite of the fact that he is a AEO certification holder and the 2 status certification, the containers are being opened and the facility which is actually provided for in the AEO is not being extended to.
Sir, I would request in this case to Mr. Chaudhary Garments to write to us. We will try to ascertain, because this number is something which is beyond any logic. Why 47% of the consignment will be opened? I think NCTC needs to explain this. We'll definitely take up this matter with NCTC.
Certainly, Salibji, I will send it, and let me also tell you that this particular case, because it was such an exceptional case, even we talked to our people in Mumbai. They went to Commissioner Customs Mumbai also, and they talked about NCTC, and in fact, around 15 days back, we had a meeting with Chairman CBIC also, Chairman APC was also there, and we mentioned these kind of instances happening over there. So we will definitely send this case to you. Please look into it.
Surely we'll look into this, sir.
The next is from Richa Exports Private Limited, Mr. Vijay Manchanda. Mr. Vijay Manchanda. Well, his question is that we were having earlier AEO certificate in our company, formerly known as Richa and Company. Now the same will be converted to our new company name, which is turned to Private Limited Company. Please confirm. This is our question. So whether when the name is changed from Rich and Company to Private Limited Company, whether the status will continue to be there.
Sir, I think this is a relevant question for everybody.
Yeah.
As I was discussing with you, sir, it is two things we need to see, whether the legal status of the company has changed or not. Because one of the requirement is that this company should be a legal entity for the last 3 years. And how will we ascertain that? That whether the directors remain the same, whether the promoters remain the same, where the money remains the same. So in certain cases, we allow the name change and the company remains the same. And we sometimes cases, we tell them to apply afresh. So this is a case-to-case decision which we usually take. That's why I was dwelling upon the need for having a entity for the continuous 3 years. Sir. So there is no straight-jacketed answer for this. It is always decided on the case-to-case basis.
So then he will have to make an application to...
Yes. Normally name change is a very routine affair, that because we understand the business name change keeps happening. So unless there is any change in the background of the financial thing, we allow it.
Okay. Next question is from KPR Mills Limited. Mr. Ambalavanan, are you there? KPR Mills Limited. All of them are there.
If they can raise hand, we will be able to in a position to find out.
Yeah. He has raised hand.
Where is he?
No. It was Animesh Saxena.
I think the people have not sent question in advance. They are raising hands, sir. So I think.
Okay. So KPR Mills' question is that exporters are now applying for self-sealing permission to jurisdictional customs separately, which may be extended to the units of AEO T2 and T3 holders. as the units of AEO T2 and T3 holders are inspected at the time of granting T2 status, separate process for self-sealing permission need not be done.
Sir, we will look into this, sir. It is a suggestion. We will definitely look into this.
Okay. The next is Qualiance International Private Limited, Kamna Desai. Are you there? Kamna Desai?
Yes, she's there.
Yeah.
Kamna.
Yes, please.
Kamna Desai, I saw her. I saw her just now. Can you raise your hand? I saw you just now. It was there. She was there. She's there. Yes, she's
Hello.
online. Yes. You can.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah,
Can you
please
hear me?
Good
continue.
evening.
Yeah,
Yes,
please,
good
we can
evening.
hear you. Please continue.
Yes, sir. So actually, we hold a AEO certificate, but it has expired on 20th Feb 2022. So we wanted to know how can we renew it, because I am trying to register myself online, but they're showing that the email ID and mobile is not matching with the IEC details, whereas it's exactly the same what I have put up. So how can I get that thing sorted, sir?
28,000.
Salik, you need to unmute yourself first.
I am unmute, sir.
No, I'm talking about
Salik.
Mr.
Okay,
Salik.
okay, fine.
Mr. Salik.
Okay, yes, sir.
So,
Date verification and upload.
so there is a provision for update verification in that case. My team is already aware of your issue.
Okay, okay.
So you have to update your verification on, there's a update verification link. You have to go and upload your this thing. Anyways, you have do you have our helpline number? No.
I did that also, sir. They asked me to do the same thing online, and I
You
have
have to do it
updated
then.
it thrice. Still, it is
Okay.
showing the same thing, that it is mismatched, both mail ID and mobile.
Update verification, then IEC copy.
So you have
DGFT
to
portal.
do it on the DGFT portal also. But don't worry, you can speak back to the team. The team is sitting with me only, so we'll get it rectified. No, it is not a big issue. We'll get it done.
And so once it gets renewed, what will be the validity? Will it be 3 years? What is
3 years
mentioning?
only.
3 years?
Yes, yes.
From next
Okay, okay, fine, sir. So, and it will be auto renewed after this, by submitting the annual turnover
Yes,
declaration.
yes.
Okay,
Same
fine.
provision that I was discussing. If you have seen the PPT, we have
Yes.
explained it.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Kamna ji. Now, next question is from Dimple Creations Private Limited, Mr. Josh Abraham. Mr. Josh Abraham.
If he can raise his hand, we'll find him out. He's there. He was there. Raise his hand in terms of, yes. Mr. Abraham, you unmute yourself. Mr. Abraham, unmute yourself. I have sent you a request. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. I have sent you a request.
Mr. Abraham, you are muted. Please unmute yourself.
I have sent you the request. You unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. I have sent you the request. Single Saab, I think you need to read his question. He is not able to unmute himself.
He is saying that we have obtained AEO certification from customs an year back. Unfortunately, we are not getting any benefit out of various schemes offered by the department wide circular dated July 2016. Regret to inform you that even customs EDI system is not showing status of AEO or star export holder in it. Due to this reason, officers are forced to do normal custom clearance process on the cargo sending to various ports in India. Please look into this matter and help us in getting maximum benefit. So basically he's saying that I have got the status, but the status is not getting reflected in the system.
Sir, we have checked it at our end, sir.
Okay.
Vinesh sir, as you also know that in EDI system we have checked it. That
Yes.
is the case facilitated. It is showing in the system, it is facilitated.
Facilitated.
There must be some issue at the local port level, but if that is an issue, they can separate. I am telling everyone to separately write to us, even if it is at the port level, we will take up the issue, not a problem. But at the central system, EDI system, we have checked it. When we received it yesterday, we checked it. So it is showing a facilitation, yes. So I think there must be some problem somewhere. Obviously, if somebody is not getting the benefit, we need to look into this issue, but we'll look into this issue. They need to just
Because-
separately write to us to our help center thing. We'll look into this.
Salikji, can you, for the sake of benefit and convenience, can you please indicate the email ID where they are supposed to send?
That
I
ours
think
is-
APC can collect and pass it down to us, and we'll forward it to DIC. If that is all right.
Yeah, that is also all right, sir. Either way, ours is already available on the site, sir. It is diccbec.dor@gov.in.
Okay. Thank you so much. Now, next is Shirts International, Rakesh Lakhanpal. Mr. Rakesh Lakhanpal. Mr. Rakesh Lakhanpal.
No, he's not there.
Okay. The question is, the certification requires a lot of time and effort, which we invested to avail sport on custom clearance. However, we have found that there are no such benefits from having made this investment. So basically the questions which are coming is that actually on field, they are not getting that benefit.
Sir, actually, I can understand that there are some procedural benefits which are not available, but I always define it in the terms of substantive benefit versus a procedural benefit. The substantive benefit of deferred duty payment, it is available because we get it done at the level of DG systems. Sir, Vinesh sir must be knowing, sir. Everything is facilitated here, sir. And then your MRA benefits will always be there. Your clearance will actually. I had a meeting in Feb with NCTC where actually I checked the data versus the AEO clearance time and non-AEO times. I cannot share it right now, sir, but it is a huge difference. If you see the non-AEO clearance time with the AEO clearance time, it is a gap of almost 20 percentage point.
Okay.
You are right, Salikji. Actually, as you rightly stated in the beginning, in the apparel sector, around 70% units are MSME units.
Yes, sir.
So duty deferral issues is basically, yes, it's a very substantial benefit, but it's not really
Exactly, sir.
applicable for the apparel sector, because most of that apparel sectors, they are using the raw material domestically.
Yes.
Whatever they are importing, lining, interlining, etc., that they are importing under AGCR rules, duty free, and the fabric which they are importing under special advance authorizations.
Yes,
So
sir.
basically what is required is that number one is that time in import and export clearances, number two, certification, self-certification, etc., and factory stuffing and container examination, etc. So those kind of facilitation issues which are day-to-day basis. And as Mr. Maggu also pointed out, that whatever benefits are due to them, specifically say duty drawback or ROSTL benefit, so that need to be taken care that as a AEO certification holder, they are facilitated.
Sir, I'm happy to tell you, sir, that all these points we are taking up in the revamping of the scheme, sir. We are in the process of revamping it. I must also tell you, sir, that we had got a perception survey done in association with KPMG, sir. So all these things have come up with us. We are in the process of formulating a new new architecture, giving exact all these drawback, ROCTL, everything, factory stuffing. So I'm not commenting upon this right now because in the process, but we'll be definitely coming up with it.
That would be really useful. And let me assure you that, like, as chairman also explained, we are looking towards a real big jump from the apparel sector. And the facilitation part, as chairman rightly explained in the beginning, that on the macro level, the policy benefits, whether it's a PLI scheme, whether it's a ROSTL scheme, whether it's a PM Mitra, those are there. But these kind of facilitation measures, these are very important for increasing exports. And we are really grateful to DGTS and you to agree to this seminar, because we really feel that it would be really useful to our members, specifically to apparel sector, to get the benefits out of it.
Are there any more questions?
Yeah.
Sehgal sir?
Now, next is from Mr. Anil Yadav, Brest. Mr. Anil Yadav,
No, he's not there.
the question is it mandatory to submit last 2 years balance sheet for getting AEO T1 certification?
Yes.
So as I said that for MSME it is 2 years, for others it is 3 years. So because we have to check the financial solvency of the unit, sir. So for that we need to have balance sheet. Rest assured, we don't do anything with your balance sheet. It is safe with us.
Next question is from Modelama Exports Private Limited, Mr. Gopal Singh. Are you there?
No, he's not raising hand.
His question has been answered in your presentation.
Okay.
His question was, we need to know how many countries recognize our AEO recognition. So that we have explained your questions. So that is Mr. Vinesh, we had the questions on that. Now we can take from chat box, please.
Thank you, and thank you to all those people who have been patiently waiting with their hands risen. I'll start with Mr. Sampath Raghavan. I'm unmuting yourself. You unmute yourself as well. Mr. Raghavan. Yes, go ahead. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. We are not able to hear you. Unmute yourself, please.
Thank you for this program, sir. So I have four specific questions, not to lose out on the time. As one of the participants was saying, it's about the open examination of the export cargo, containerized cargo. So the problem is more pronounced and uniformly noticed in scheme code 64, which is the special advance authorization. So 90% of all our cargo, although we have been AEO certified tier 2, so 90% of our overall cargo is being sent for open examination, especially when it is filed under scheme 64, which is special advanced authorization. And if you look at the overall statistics, all schemes put together from our company when we are doing it, it's 35%. Still, it looks to be a bit very much on the higher side. So already, I think it has been replied so that it is being taken up. So does it need any specific representation to be made? In case it has to be made, to whom we have to make to see that actually this is facilitated, open examination is reduced. So for AEO clients, I think it is not totally eliminated for open examination. What is the percentage selected as per the RMS or the ICE gate? We wanted to know what is the percentage that is selected for AEO clients. Second thing, the chairman sir was talking about facilitation of subsidy in interest. So is it as per the RBI banking guidelines, or actually is it case to case? The banks take a decision to give this facilitation of subsidized interest rate. I wanted to know from the chairman sir on this thing. Two, and third is that JAP, the mutual recognition agreement. What you were talking about 5 countries, but then the fifth one you're talking about East African community. It's not a country. So specifically, I wanted to know whether there has been anything which is signed up with Ethiopia. So this is the third question. And the fourth question, sir, USA recently you signed up the mutual recognition agreement. So in terms of the facilitation in the US, actually, I think it's by and large very open, so there is not much of hardly 2 to 3% of the cargo is examined. What additional mileage could one get? So being the AEO client, and just in case that the US customs has to notice that an exporter from India is a AEO client, what are the things that have to be declared so that, we can take the facilitation there? These are my 4 pointed questions, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Sampath, for your question. Before I lose track of the questions, one question I think is pertaining to Chairman AEPC, so that he can answer. Regarding your specific case of your containers being examined, openly examined for something, and on that part, I would request you to write to us. We can take up with NCTC the reason why, the rationale why they are doing. I'm sure nothing is done arbitrarily. There must be some reason, whether that rationale is justifiable or not, whether it is backed by something or not. There must be some reasoning for it. We can look into the validity of the reasoning as and when it comes to us. We'll definitely look into this issue. You can either approach us or you can approach to your zonal office where you have get the certification from. Regarding the percentage of how much they are doing interdiction or not, I think that is, we are also not privy to it, and that is a document that we don't have. We can only ask why ours. We can't ask how much is the percentage. You can understand these are the trade statistics that we don't share. Regarding, you are saying that JAP thing, that okay, yeah, obviously, we all are aware that EAC is not a country, it is a East African Union, and we are trying to sign with all East African countries in one go so that it benefits most of the countries. Regarding you being the Ethiopia as part or not, I think I am, as of now, I don't remember whether it's part of it or not. I think it can be checked very easily from internet whether it's part of it or not. Regarding fourth point of the US benefits, obviously how much interdiction US does, I don't have the data for that. In fact, in negotiation also, US does not share with us, but I'm happy that you have the data. But regarding the documents which you need to show, as I said, that we have just signed, we are in the pilot phase. We are doing the piloting. Once the piloting is done, we will advertise it with our all AEO partners that how do you do it. As of now, as we have understood from US side, is that they call it manufacturer identity number, MID number, that they issue to their CTPAT clients. If you are exporting to those clients, you have to mention that MID number when that client is filing paper at the US port. But this is a very initial brief that I'm giving you. The detail, obviously, I'll be sharing when the whole architecture comes into the picture.
Thank you. And
Yes, sorry, just to intervene, sir. Sorry, just to intervene.
No
We are
supplementary question because
as well as
got a big line.
Sorry, sir.
I'm saying that we have got a big queue of people requesting for questions. So,
okay, right.
So
okay,
we'll keep it at that. We'll keep it at that.
Right.
Let me answer Mr. Raghavan here.
Yes,
This ECGC scheme, what I said, it's a mandatory. As per the tier, you have the discount. You can check with for credit insurance, definitely with the ECGC. And secondly, for the bank credit rating, it is case to case. Basically, some bank recognize this creditation, some bank don't recognize, but like you can push your bank if you have a good creditation, they will definitely oblige you and do it. But ECGC, it's mandatory that they have their internal policy that they have tier 2, 3, they have different set of discounting in their premium. So, and that could be a great advantage. But Mr. Salik, I would like to stress a point, supplement the point of Chaudhary Chaudhary International and Mr. Raghavan, that under the special authorization scheme, the open examination is very regular, very regular. So this should be looked into this very seriously, because we have been receiving this notice from many members, and in fact from my own company, I have been receiving this notice that, sir, we need to do something. The consequences, somebody has not explained the consequences properly. The consequences are we miss the vessel. We miss the vessel, and that is very big consequence. And then the air freight these days, everybody understand, is 500 rupees a kilo, sort of thing, which is more of a close to the FOB. So we need to urgently look into this problem, sir.
Thank you.
Certainly, we will definitely look into this issue, and in fact, I request that all these, not specific issues, but if there's the import of or the export of consignment under any scheme is being opened, this is a issue. I think all such issues, not giving the specific instances, can be sent to us. I request Dr. Singhal sir also that on APC platform, all these, because a lot of trade association comes to us, their trade sector specific issues. If that comes to us, that will also be very good for us to work on it in one go. Let's say all discussion 10 issues comes up, then we can work on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we'll take it up accordingly.
Sure.
And now we also have Mr. Animesh Saxena. He had earlier associated with us DGTS for one seminar. He's from FISME, and Mr. Saxena, you are representing MSME, so I would request to come forward and
Good evening,
if you
sir.
have any questions.
Nice to interact with you again. Apart from the MSME Federation, which I was heading, I'm also an apparel exporter. That's how
Okay.
I'm also today. And
Okay.
not 70%, 90% of apparel units are under MSME. And the offtake of this scheme or probably acceptance was pretty low, probably lack of awareness and lack of tangible benefits. So today I'm happy that very clear form, the things have been explained, what are the advantages of this. And I have two specific questions on this. Like T1 is easy, it's a desk-based and many people can apply and get it quickly. In T2 is a time-consuming process. It still is a time-consuming process. Plus, there is no clarity. There is no tracking available that what is your status. Even after the field visit to your unit, you don't know. It could take 6 months also. So there has to be some status tracker. You know where so far you have reached, how much time you're going to take. Third thing, a lot of exporters, they often get flagged, this risky exporter, which Mr. Maggu has also raised. Whether can they apply for T2 or not? It's open for them, applying or not. Third thing, when you become flagged, your every shipment goes for inspection, a detailed inspection. So what happens in case you are T2 and you are flagged? Then what happens? Do you get the exemption from the inspections or no? These are my specific questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Saxena, I didn't get the meaning of the word flat which you used in the third question. You may like to explain that. What do you mean by that? But other questions, I think I understood what you mean. Regarding the time consuming process for T2, yes, we agree this is a time consuming process. Yes, there was no update once you apply for it, but now once we have come out with the portal, you can check the status of where your application is and what stage it is. So this is what we are coming up, and we have already come up with this thing. Once you apply now, you will get the status. But I do recognize and acknowledge the fact that it is a time consuming process. But as I said, that the reforms start with the acknowledgement of the issue, and I acknowledge this, and definitely we are in the process of speed willing the whole process. Regarding your second question of the company going flat, I didn't get it. If you could explain this.
Flag is when you become a risky exporter profile, your status is flagged in the custom portals.
Okay. That you
Flagged.
Yeah, yes. Whether are you eligible to apply for T2 if in case you are a risky profile at the moment?
Yes, you are eligible because their parameter for profiling you as a risky keeps changing. It is a dynamic process. Today you are risky, tomorrow you are not.
Okay.
So that has nothing to do with our certification process. If you meet our parameters, you are. If you don't have a show cause, you are. If you are in the business for the last 3 years or 2 years for MSME, you are eligible. If your net current asset and net current worth are positive, you are.
Good.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Thank you. Now, Mr. Jagmohan, unmute yourself, please. Mr. Jagmohan, I've sent you a unmute request. You unmute yourself. Yes, please go ahead.
गुड इवनिंग सर आई एम जगमोहन छिब्बर फ्रॉम पीएम प्रो एक्सपोर्ट फरीदाबाद. मेरा क्वेश्चन सर ये है कि हमारा ड्रॉबैक काफ़ी लेट हो जाता है, उसमें हम एयू होल्डर हैं प्लस 3 स्टार एक्सपोर्ट हाउस होल्डर हैं, तो ड्रॉबैक एकदम क्लियर होना चाहिए. एयू हमारे फरवरी मार्च अप्रैल मई के नहीं आए ड्रॉबैक, उसमें ईजीएम एरर आ जाता है. हमने एक्सपोर्ट कर दिया है, शिपमेंट चली गई है, बायर को भी मिल गया, हमें ड्रॉबैक नहीं मिलता.
EGM एरर अगर आ रहा है तो वो हमारा इशू नहीं है, लेकिन इन जनरल AEO को
यदि वो कहते हैं प्रेफरेंस मिलेगी AU होल्डर को प्लस जो 3 स्टार एक्सपोर्ट हाउस है.
नहीं आपकी बात मैं समझ रहा हूँ और आपकी प्रॉब्लम भी मैं समझ रहा हूँ.
यस सर.
लेकिन इसमें 2 इशू हैं. एक इशू ये है फंडामेंटल कि अगर आप AEO होल्डर हैं तो आपको फास्टर ड्रॉबैक मिले. ये इशू नंबर 1 है. वी अग्री टू दिस. इफ इट्स नॉट हैपनिंग वी विल टेक अप दिस इशू. बट is it not happening because of AEO non-AEO discrimination, or it is not happening because AGM error? because EGM error is a system error. There could be a reason for it. I'm not saying that it cannot be rectified. Obviously, it should be rectified. It must be rectified. But we are mixing two issues. But definitely we'll look into this issue. As I was saying, all these issues you must send through
मेरा बस
AEPC.
ये है कि इसको रेक्टिफाई हो जाए, जैसे हमारा हमने शिपमेंट किया, हैंडओवर हो गया और कार्गो एक्सपोर्ट भी हो गया, बायर को मिल भी गया और हमारा
जगमोहन साहब
EGM एरर
देखिए,
यहाँ पर आ रहा है, तो वो होना नहीं चाहिए।
जगमोहन साहब क्या है, EGM एरर जो होता है वो लोकल पोर्ट से रिलेटेड मामला है।
पोर्ट की बात
आप पोर्ट में ही जाकर के वहां पर वो EGM एरर जैसे हटेगा, सारे बेनिफिट्स आपको मिल जाएंगे उसमें।
लेकिन
अब वो वहां पे हटाने के लिए, क्योंकि उनको वेरीफाई भी करना पड़ेगा, आपको लोकली वहां पोर्ट पे वहां के जो ऑफिसर्स, जो DC इंचार्ज हैं, उनको बताएंगे। ये इजीली सॉल्व होने वाला चीज है।
ओके,
हाँ,
थैंक यू।
ओके, there is someone, Mr. K. Please unmute yourself. Yes, go ahead, please.
Sir, my name is Rajendran from Chaudhary Garments. Single sub already हमारा issue.
ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है। Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Raghuram, please unmute yourself.
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
We had our T2 application, status from 2000.
Can you speak louder, please?
We had our AEO 22 status from 2018 November. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes.
That got expired in November 2021. Prior to that, we have applied for T3 status. Now they are keep on insisting, more papers. Although we provided the solvency balance sheet for the previous 3 years, all that papers, but still they are insisting they want a compulsory that all our clients also should be having the same status holder. Then only they can, consider our application. Our ultimate buyers, then the suppliers based in Far East, various fabric supplier, accessory suppliers, and all. Although we are a MSME holder as well.
Okay.
I would request you to please intervene because it is with AEO.
Thank you, Mr. Raghuram. I understood your question. As I explained in the PPT also, for the Tier 3, it is the highest level of facilitation that we provide. So there is a statutory clause that your business partner should also be AEO certified. Business partner means that from whom you are getting your raw material, with whom you are doing your CHA thing. All these things needs to be complied. But having said so, you don't have a control over your buyer in Far East. I understand that point. But if you could give us the specific details, where did you apply? In which zone did you apply for it?
I think we lost his voice. He's got unmuted again. What I would suggest, Mr. Raghuram, that he can send the details to AEPC, and we'll surely look into this.
Sure, sir.
Thank you,
sir. If you can.
No, but then
such kind of things are coming, so we can have a details from them, and we'll look into it.
Yeah.
Now we'll move ahead. There's Mr. Ambala Vanan Chinnaswamy. Mr. Chinnaswamy, please unmute yourself. We've got 5 minutes to go and few questions. Mr. Chinnaswamy, yes.
Yeah. Good evening, sir. Sir, for AEO holders of overseas buyers, in those countries where we are not having MRA, if we are providing one field in the shipping bill, it will be useful for the export clearance, no, sir? Is it possible to have that field for AEO holder buyers to inform in that shipping bill while we are exporting? Say for UK, we are not having MRA, and we are in the near future also we are not going to have, but our regular shipments are to UK. if our buyers in UK having AEO certificate, it will be shown in the shipping bill, and our shipment clearances may be smoother, no, sir. That's what we want to know.
Sir, honestly speaking, I am not very clear on what is being asked, but I would request you give it in writing. Probably that will give a better context to the text.
One minute, sir. See, for MRA countries, if we are exporting to country which we are having MRA, we are having a field to fill the AEO details of our buyer. Similarly, if even if the country is not having MRA, if exporters are allowed to fill the AEO details of overseas buyers, for example, UK buyers, whether it will be get cleared smoothly with some priority, with some facilitation.
At UK port, no, because we do not have an MRA.
Yeah. UK port, no. I am talking about our Indian export ports.
Indian export, so you are an AEO, no? So you will to anyways get facilitation regardless of who your client is.
Okay. And buyers, if our buyer is also an AEO holder, if that is reflected in the shipping bill, that there may be some this one.
Okay, Mr. Chinnaswamy, the thing is that what he's trying to say that even for the cases where there is no MRA, there should be some space for putting the other overseas importers AEO details. So that is something which is far-fetched.
Yes, I think we do not
We should not be going into this.
Yes.
Chinnaswamy sir, thank you so much.
To answer that, sir.
It is a suggestion. They'll definitely, when they're planning it, they'll have a thing.
Yes, sir. We have noted down, sir. We'll see.
Yes, we'll
Thank
definitely
you.
look into it. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thank you.
Chinnaswamy. Then APD exports. I think this would be the APD exports. Please unmute yourself. APD exports. Sahana. Soma block prints.
Sir, I'm Sankita Menon from APD Export.
Okay, go ahead, please. Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I have already renewed my AEO certificate of T1. Now necessary to take T2, and what is the facility we will be getting? T2 certificate. Yeah, same it is.
Madam, I will request you to go through our master circular,
Presentation,
although
yes.
we had explained this in the PPT also,
Okay.
but it is not necessary. We don't compel you. You go through our CBIC circular number 33/2016.
Okay.
If the all level of benefits are given, if that attracts you, and so that then you can probably take it.
Okay, one more question. And when our drawback, there is a EGM error. After that, it's solved already. It's scrolling is showing, and ROSTL also automatically it will be credited. Yeah, we have to approach the custom.
Madam, I think I am not the appropriate person to comment upon this.
See, ma'am, once the scroll is generated, it should be an automatic process after that.
Of ROSTL
Thank you.
also.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And we have to rush now because we've got a few more people here. And as I have been saying again, like we are posting our feedback form. I request everybody to fill in so that we know how we have fared actually. Soma block prints, and this would be the last question I'm taking. Soma block prints, please unmute yourself. Soma block prints, please unmute yourself. Karthikeyan, please unmute yourself. Karthikeyan, please unmute yourself. I think we had enough of questions, almost 1 hour of questions which Mr. Salik had to answer. And he has done it so beautifully and explained all the points. And thank you. And I think we have to wrap it up now. So I would request Dr. Singhal to close this with his closing remark and vote of thanks.
Thank you so much, Vinesh ji. First of all, I would like to convey my thanks to DGTS. It's a wonderful initiative of the CBIC for organizing these webinars through the DGTS. AEPC has organized 3 webinars along with the DGTS. First was on ROSTL, and then it was on AGCR rules, and today it is the AEO certifications. And we had excellent participation. We had more than 250 participants today as well. I'm really thankful to DGTS. Specifically, I would like to convey my thanks to Mr. Upendra Gupta, Principal ADG, who had assured us in the very beginning that whatever would be required by the AEPC, we would do it. I would like to specifically convey my thanks to Mr. Vinesh Chaudhary, who had been really very helpful in getting this organized. I would like to convey my thanks to Mr. Salik. It was an excellent presentation, and the way you have handled the questions, it was wonderful. And I'm sure that the questions which have been raised today and the way you have assured that their issues would be resolved. I would like to convey my thanks to our chairman, Mr. Naren Goenka, for taking this initiative. In fact, he was the one who stated that AEO webinar would be very useful for our people, and if you could have it with the DGTS, that would be very useful. Thanks so much to Mr. Goenka. And I convey my thanks to all my participants, our exporters who have participated for this webinar. We had around 250 participants today. This was very useful participation from your side and useful contributions. I would, in concluding remarks, Salik ji, I would like to make one request, if it is possible, that if a general circular could be issued, all the field formulations, for all the field formations, pointing out that we have provided some benefits to the AEO. But we had this webinar today, and these are the kind of issues which have been raised by the exporters, specifically the container opening and all this. If the general circular could be issued, making a request to all the field formations that they should extend the benefits which have been envisaged and promised in the AEO certifications, that would be very useful. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone. Thanks so much.
Thank you, sir. Regarding your last session, sir, as I requested, sir, once we get it on the APC platform, on whatever way you convey it to us as an export promotion body, we will definitely explore the possibility of writing to the chief commissioners, field chief commissioners, and to explain them and to request them to extend whatever has not been extended and to expedite which has not been expedited, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Salik.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.